It was around 6 p.m. on January 12, 2010, that we learned of the earthquake that struck Port-au-Prince, Haiti. I remember after our evening prayers, I found my friend and classmate, now a Redemptorist priest, a Haitian himself, glued to the TV, watching CNN as he was trying to glean as much information as he could about what had happened to his country in those first few hours. It was difficult to watch and to be a part of. And it was over the next several days that we learned the devastating toll that the earthquake had struck in Haiti, in Port-au-Prince. The earth had rumbled and buildings fell, and many were dead, many more were injured, and the ones who could try to reach out to family were cut off from lines of communication. Jackie, my friend, tried to call his family, but to no avail. And so he had to wait. And wait he did. Every day, for several days, no word. And every time that the house phone rang or his cell phone rang, our entire community would stop. We would stop and we would wait in stunning silence. And he would pause before he would answer that phone, wondering, hoping, not knowing if there would be a loved one on the other end of that line. For 3 days, we were in that tomb with him. After 3 days, I am happy to say that there was life in his family, though many others had died. The truth is that our community, our Redemptorist community, could do very, very little for my dear friend Jackie during those 3 days and even after. Really, the only thing that we could do at that time was to wait with him, to stay close with him, to remain near to him. We had to wait patiently, anxiously, silently wait. We have a stunningly long gospel today. And in the midst of this gospel, there's a small phrase that's easy to miss. When Jesus invites, commands, if he commands, they don't really obey, but invites his disciples to stay with him, to stay and to wait. In the midst of Jesus' suffering, in the midst of his passion, with the realization that a difficult road is very much ahead of him, Jesus needs his disciples to wait, to sit with him, to be near him, to pray with him. Because at that moment, the only thing they could do, the best thing they could do for him, is to wait. How fitting for us during this time of this pandemic, of this virus, that we are called to wait, to stay, to remain in our homes. And while that's not a luxury all of us have or can afford at this time, many people who are on the front lines of battling this illness, many people who are on the front lines of providing food for people, food for the poor, workers in service industries. The best medical and scientific advice for all of us right now is to sit and remain. The best thing we can do as a society is to wait. Now, as a Christian community, as a body of Christ, we too wait, but we don't just wait. We wait with hope. We wait with joy, knowing that in time we will once again be together in our churches and in our homes. We wait with Christ in his own suffering and his own death. We wait with our God who suffers and our God who knows our pain. And that might be an uncomfortable thought. The image of a God who suffers, the image of a God who is in pain. We like to envision a God who is not vulnerable. And we would like to envision and conceive of a God who is above and beyond our pain. But today we are presented with an image that is far from that, an image of a God who wants us, each of us, to sit with him and to wait in his suffering. And a God who sits with us and waits with us in ours. We're called to draw near to him, to be close to him, to stay with him. I'd also like to point out that during this time of suffering for so many, in sitting with our God and doing just what Jesus has invited us to do, we are also staying close to the brokenhearted of our world, and there are many. Those who are afflicted with this illness or others, those who are on the front lines, as I said, of combating this disease, those who are poor and homeless, who have no place to wait, those who are hungry, who wait for food, those who are struggling with anxiety. As Christians, we're called to wait with them, to respond to their needs in the ways that we can, and to remain close to them, to remain close to the brokenhearted. My friends, as we venture into this Holy Week, into the weeks ahead, remain close to God. Remain close with him. Stay close to God. This Palm Sunday, we break our social distancing because we stand next to God and God stands next to us. Stay with him. Remain with him. Wait.